Hi, in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 things that I do when applying makeup to my mature skin to improve the appearance and longevity of the makeup. So if this is something that interests you, then definitely stick around. But before we get into that, if you're new here to my channel, welcome. My name is Maria Luisa and I create content that includes makeup tips, skincare reviews, and some lifestyle. So if that's interesting to you, don't hesitate to subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. I know I've been gone for a while. I had a little bit of a burnt out and I started focusing a little bit more on my beading channel. So if you like to bead, I'll include the link to my beading channel in the description box below. But thank you so much for sticking around. And now let's get into it. Okay, so I've pulled back my hair to get it out of the way. I found this, I think it's like cut off from a pair of pants. Oh, stretchy pants, I don't know, but I like the pattern. Anyway, to start off with, my application tip number 1. So as we mature due to the loss of collagen, if we have any sun damage or hormonal changes, our skin tends to get drier. So before you apply any makeup, it's super important to hydrate. Personally, I love this and it's used by many makeup artists. It's called Embryolisse and I get it on Amazon and I'll link it in the description box below. But when I apply this, it is kind of perfumey, so if you don't like too much perfume, I don't know if you might like it, but definitely find something with like hyaluronic acid, something that's going to keep that moisture in so that when you apply your makeup, it doesn't look cakey and dry. Our skin gets so dry during the winter months, or if we get a cold or things like that, so you'd never want to apply your makeup, foundation, anything without first applying something really hydrating to your face. If you have more oily skin, then definitely find a more water-based moisturizer, but definitely don't forget to hydrate your skin. And you also want to make sure that you're getting under your eyes so that your concealer also doesn't crease. Having your eyes nice and moisturized, your under eye nice and moisturized, prevents any creasing from the concealer, especially if you have a more drying formula. So I have the new Fenty Beauty and this one is the Pro Filter Soft Matte Long Wear Foundation. I have the color 210. You also don't want to apply any matte foundations, or at least avoid very matte foundations unless, like I said, you have pretty oily skin. But I've noticed that even people that had oily skin over time still gets pretty dry, or they get dry patches. Okay, so I'm really liking this formula. I'm probably going to do a wear test for you guys since it's new. But so far I like it because it's not like mattifying to where you can see any dry patches, but it's also not very oily. For concealer, I'm going to be using the new Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer. I just picked this one up. I got the color number 4. So I'm just going to apply it in my usual spot. And I'll take a nice wet sponge to blend it. So I'm going to use this powder from Revolution. I've really been liking it. It's the translucent loose setting powder. It is so finely milled, it just doesn't look cakey on you. I set my under eye with it. And then I'm going to go in and set just the areas where I'm going to apply my bronzer and my blush. I don't want to set any other areas because, again, I don't want my face to look too dry. You can use also a big fluffy brush if you want. And you just kind of go into the areas where you're going to apply your blush and your bronzer. If you're going to use powders, if you're going to use creams, then you want to do that first before setting your makeup. Tip number 2, again, as we mature, our face starts to droop, or our skin. It's not like super noticeable, but slowly, you start to see that a little bit drooping as our collagen, as we lose collagen and all that. So it's really important the placement of your bronzer and your blush. If you place it too low on your face will look droopy. You should not apply it in the same places that you did when you were in your 20s or 30s. You definitely want to go up higher. Now, if you look, let me show you. If you go like this, if you do the famous duck face, you'll see here, this is where cheekbone starts, or you can even feel it with your finger. You want to put your, and I know it's going to feel weird, but you want to put your bronzer right up there, all the way up to your temple, like right where you thought, like where we used to apply our blush, if that makes sense. So I'm going to take this bronzer from Charlotte Tilbury. It's airbrush bronzer, and I've got the number 2. It's a really nice bronzer. And just so you get an idea, I'm just going to start right here. So if you think it's too high, it's not. Because you want it to lift your face. See how pretty that bronzer is? So we're applying it up here. If by chance, another tip, if by chance you end up feeling that you've put it way too low than here, you can take your wet sponge and just kind of dab it here, just to clean up. And I like to use these kind of brushes. They're angled. They're angled, and they're a little bit flat. See how they're not completely round? This one is from Laura Lee, and it's got a little bit of flatness here that allows you, I don't know if you can see, it's more of an oval shape. It's not completely round. There, you can see it this way. Maybe it comes across this. See how it's a little bit, it's not completely round. That allows you to stay up here. And you definitely want to do under your chin here, which also tends, at least for me, has drooped over time, because of course darkness hides, so you want it to hide that second chin. Mine might be a third one. And I have this here that has drooped over time, and unless I do surgery or something, which I don't want to do, it's just going to show. So if I apply my bronzer here, I can get a nice chiseled jawline. And then your blush, and then again, and I'm not going to do a huge sweeping motion because it'll take away my foundation, but I'm going to press it in there, see? And I know it looks like a lot right now, but we'll fix it. I think I went a little too crazy. Here we're going to go all the way up to the temple. All the way up. See? Like that. And all the way up to the temple. Also, if you apply too much, don't worry about it, because for some reason your face will absorb that blush right away. So by the time you put on your clothes, you get out the door, your blush is half gone for some crazy reason. But if you still feel that you applied too much, just grab again your sponge and dab over it, and it works as a magic eraser. Now we're going to start working with our eyes, which brings me to tip number 3. I always apply a foundation or primer or concealer, anything to my eyelids. Again, as we get older, our veins start to show more. We get discoloration, or like me, that for many years I had breakouts of eczema on my eyelids. So if you could see, they're a little bit reddish. They have like a red tinge to it. So if you do not apply any base or any primer, you won't be able to start with a clean canvas. So you definitely want to start with that clean canvas. You don't have to buy any special primers or anything if you don't want to, but I do like to use this one. This one is from P. Louise. P. Louise base is a base for eyeshadow, and I have the color Rumor 1. But they have 2s, they have all sorts of colors. It's a really thick base, as you can see. So what I like to do is you could take a fluffy brush if you don't want it to be too heavy. So let's just go with a light this time. Sometimes I like to put it heavier on my eyelid when I'm going to do bright colors, but right now with the palette I'm going to use just a light brush. It's a little kabuki brush that I got from Sigma, and you can use any eyeshadow brush. I love doing makeup. I do makeup for my friends and my family for special events. So I've got all sorts of brushes, but a simple makeup eyeshadow brush can do. A blending brush, I mean. So for shadows, I just bought this new one from Urban Decay. It's the Wild Greens, and I really like it. And this is the palette. Really pretty colors. I think it's beautiful for the spring. Tip number 4 is winged eyeliner. Now, if you don't like winged eyeliner, then you might want to skip this part of it. But if you still like your wing eyeliner, but have, like me, your eyes are starting to droop, you're starting to get more of a hooded eye because, again, our eyelid just kind of droops down, then maybe these tricks will be useful to you. You don't want to use an eyeliner that has a felt tip because it will skip, because our eyes are not, the skin is not taut right here. And you don't want to do the pull on the mirror, because as soon as you let go of your eye, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have a weird wing, because it's just going to come down. You don't want to do this to stretch your skin out, because like I said, that's not the natural position of your skin. You want to look straight into the mirror and open your eyes when you're doing it. Now, I'm going to show you 2 ways that I do it. I have this Heroine, I think it is. I'll link it down in the description. It's super cheap. It's I think it's Korean makeup, and this says it's super waterproof. This one is also like a pen style, but it's not a felt tip. It's a brush tip, and that's what you want to look for if you want to do a winged eyeliner. Now, the other thing is you're going to look straight into your mirror with your eyes open. Now, I don't know, I'm going to zoom in so you can see a little bit better. Now, as you can see, when I open my eye and look like this, I've got these 2 folds right here. When you do your eyeliner, if you want to do a wing eyeliner, you're going to avoid those folds. So you're going to look again. You can lift your eyebrow if you want, but just remember where you have those folds that you're going to skip. Or you could just leave it natural, but do not pull on your eye. Just leave it natural and then take it from the corner. You're still going to follow that. See how you're still going to follow that line that comes from under your eye going straight up. You're still going to follow that, only you're going to go around those folds like this. You're going to do a line like that, and you're just going to do it as long as you want your wingtip, however long. If you want a little one, you don't have to go too far. If you want a nice long wingtip, then, just flick it out like that. Then you're going to bring it from the middle, not the very edge of where you flicked. You're going to put it from the middle and come back down here this way. So you're going to make a triangle. This, you can close your eye, but again, do not pull on your skin. See how I make that triangle? And when I open my eye, since I avoided those folds, I'm not going to get a crooked wing. I'm just going to go all the way to the middle, and then you can fill in your little triangle. Go all the way to the center. But if your eye is really hooded, you just want it to end right here, to fade out right there. Because otherwise you'll lose that lid space that you have left. And when you open your eye, all you're going to see is black. You won't see the eyeshadow color. But I try to make as thin as I can. I mean, really get in. I try to get right into the lash line as close as I can. We have our wing on this side. Now I'm going to show you on this side. This is if you have a heavier, I want to call it heavier, a droopier eye. For this one, for this side, you don't want to, if you're like me, you don't want to use a pen. You want to use like a pomade, or I don't know what to call these little pots, the eyeliner in a pot. And I love this one. It's from Maybelline. It's called Eye Studio. And then I'm going to grab a brush with a very fine, with a very fine tip. Look at this one, how small this one is. Super tiny. So now what we're going to do is dip it into this pomade. And now we're going to do the same thing, but this one for me is droopier. I don't know if you guys can, if it'll show up on camera, but you could see how it comes all the way out here. See how it comes all the way out to here? So again, I want to avoid it, and you'll see the trick. I know you're gonna be like, oh my God, Maria, you're missing your eye. But trust me, trust the process. I'm just gonna go like here, from here, and I am gonna go out and around that fold. See? I still did that flick, but I went out and around that fold. Now, I am gonna go down, but this one, because it's droopier, I don't know why I have one eye that's droopier than the other, but whatever. I'm going to go just up to the first fold, and then close my eye. When I close my eye, I'm just going to go follow that where that left off. That way when you open your eye again, you don't have a bend. You could just create your little triangle. See? And we avoided this fold. We went from here like this. It looks a little bit crooked when you open your eye, but I mean when you close your eye, sorry. But I mean, when are you going to be closing your eyes all the time? I mean, most of the time people are going to see you with your eyes open. Bring this all the way to the middle of the eye. You're going to, like I said, you're going to be like, Maria, your eye, it's really low past there. Here's the trick. You're going to take an angled brush or a flat angled brush or just a flat brush like this, something like this. See how flat it is? And you're going to take like this. In this case, it's kickback, or you can also use like a black color if you want. A black shadow, but I'm just gonna take and see, I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna complete that down here. Just gonna bring it with me, and that will prevent you from it looking weird because it's all the way out here. If you do this, you're completing that triangle so it doesn't look awkward, it doesn't look weird, and then you still have your wing. Then to move on, now my fifth and final tip is going to be highlighter application. Why highlighter? I think it's important. If you're in a hurry, you can probably skip it, but if you're going someone special, I think it adds more life. Once you've applied all your foundation and your powders and all that, make sure you first, before applying a highlighter, you go in with your setting spray. A highlighter is really nice when you want to add life back into your skin. You want to add that shine. Again, you don't want that dullness. The setting spray will help all the powders and makeup, everything melt into your skin and make your skin look like skin, not just a bunch of coats of makeup. But the highlighter will also help you look healthy. You got that healthy glow. So this one is the one I'm going to be using. It's the Haus Laboratories it's that Lady Gaga's brand. It is just amazing. Look at how gorgeous that is. It is such a beautiful highlighter. Such a beautiful highlighter. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? For mature skin, you have to be careful where you're going to apply your highlighter, which is why this is tip number 5, or the 5th thing I never miss doing. You do not want to apply highlighter in any area that you have texture. For me, I don't have a lot of texture here, up here. So that's where I like to apply my highlighter. I like to take like this type of brush, or if you have a fan brush. Sometimes I used to see these fan brushes and be like, what the heck are these fan brushes for? Well, they are really good for highlighters. But I'm gonna go with this brush right now. Or you could even use, if you have like a set of brushes that you've got like a big fluffy one like this, you can use that. You don't need also a specific highlighter. You can go in with the highlighter that comes in your eyeshadow palette and use a little bit of it. You don't have to go ham. Unless you like to be seen from space, then go for it. That's that's your choice. But I put it up here, right there, because highlighter will accentuate texture, which is the reason why as we age, a lot of people don't like to wear a highlighter, because it will, like I have pores all along here, this area, so I'm not going to apply any highlighting thing, anything that's going to highlight that. Just going to do it right up here where I don't have any texture, and where, well, except I think I'm getting a pimple right there. If you have a large chin, or if you have texture on your chin, you don't want to do that. You don't want to bring it out to the light. You do want to do your Cupid's bow because it adds just a little bit of sparkle to your lipstick. You do want to do the tip of your nose, again, unless you have something you don't want to highlight in your nose. But if not, it gives you that healthy glow right here in the bridge of your nose. And you can either do the center of your forehead or on top of your... Now, I haven't had my Botox, so I've got wrinkle here, so I don't want to highlight that. So I'm not going to put it right there, maybe back here. So again, you don't want to put highlighter where you have textures or wrinkles or anything you don't want it to show, because it will, like the name, highlight it. You just want to place it in strategic areas where it's going to make you look healthy, but not accentuate things that you don't want people to see, if that makes sense. So that is my last tip. Now I'm just going to go put on lipstick. I'll be right back. All right, everybody. So that is the finished look. What do you guys think? What do you think of the tips? Did you like this type of video? Please let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know what else you'd like to learn. What else you'd like me to review? I mean, I have so much makeup. Do you want me to do more of my Shop My Stash? Do you want me to do you want to see some declutters? Please help me. What would you like to see here on my channel? And if you reach it till now and you like this video, you like this type of content where I give you tips and tricks, then don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, as it helps my channel. And I'm glad to be back. I hope you guys are happy to see me again. If not, don't tell me. Just don't say anything in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.